my new friend Nicolo, who is managing partner of Bali Investment Club. This is a really interesting organization because of the investment and scouting nature. They have eyes and ears all over Bali and beyond, actually. So really excited to hear what Nicolo has to share with us about his work and what they're seeing on the ground here in Bali and in the neighborhood. Over to you, Nicolo.
Thank you, Adrian. Thank you. Thank you for having me here. Well, first of all, I could not agree more with the talk of Ichi about the Bali shift. And maybe I will talk in just after giving like a brief intro about Bali Investment Club. I think I will bring on my personal experience on how Bali Investment Club was born. And I think that's the real example how the power of actually Bali when you come here with good intention. So Bali Investment Club is the first impact investment company created in Bali. At the moment, we are an hybrid. We have an hybrid structure between venture capital and angels. In a sense that we actually operate like a venture capital. We follow the same organizational structure. We also do the same sort of due diligence processes. And as well as also how we structure our fees and everything, but we don't have a fund. So this is why we mix with the angels. So what basically we do is that we always look out there, like you mentioned, in Bali and beyond, and we try to look and push forward the best deals out there. And then what we do is basically we sign a deal sheet with entrepreneurs, and then once the deal sheet is signed, then we reach out to our network of angels. The mandate of the fund is pretty simple. We only supporting Indonesian-based companies that create impact, but also they already have done the NPV stage, so they already have been proven the concept and already have been generating revenues.
Sorry, Nicolo, when you say MPV, you mean the minimum viable product?
Yes, exactly, yeah. Exactly. So yeah, this is pretty much what we do every day, and it's been like a crazy journey since so far. And perhaps I would like to just give a little background on how everything started, and that's connect to the conversation that Ichi was having before. So basically, this was absolutely not planned before. It was just a case because back in 2020, in January, I moved from Cape Town to Melbourne to do my MBA exchange. And back then, COVID was just something that was related to China. And my actual purpose was, to relocate in Australia and, enter the world of the BC after the MBA. And then basically COVID hit, and then Australia went crazy. You couldn't find toilet papers at the supermarkets. And then I made the best decision, and also saw that, it would have been really hard to get a working visa by then. So I said, okay, well, I'm going to go to Bali because I've been there 10 times before. And I'm going to just sit there and look, wait and see what's going to happen to the world. So then arrived to Bali with no expectation absolutely about the future. And then since day one, I came into Bali, literally everything started to make sense. And actually by joining those master minds events, I really saw this, I noticed so many new people coming to the island with so many crazy ideas, so many good ideas, and also impactful ideas. And then we did some research, and we actually saw that, no one ever built a sort of VC focus on impact in Bali. So why we should not do that? So basically, we started to do that, and it was really, an idea at the stage. But then, moving forward, then we, by chance, we connected with the right people on the island, which became our new senior partners with decades of experience in this sector. And then, therefore, since then, now it's been 15 months we've been doing that. We grew a lot. Now like we 19 people of Bali Investing Club between partners and full-time team members. And yeah, so this is like a little background on how we started that. And I mean, I think this would have not been able, wouldn't be possible in other countries, especially in the Western countries. So I think like Bali here is, you know, magical islands where, you know, if you come here with a good intention and you really want to make things work, then, you know, like the ecosystem of the island really reward you. And yeah, so this is pretty much in short how Bali Investment Camp was born.
You mentioned you've seen some crazy ideas. Is there any that you can share that either crazy in general or like unique to Bali?
In terms like really positive, like really impactful, really disruptive, like in this sense. So like yeah, in this way.
Okay, and can you give us some examples of projects that you either currently looking at or already started to fund, you know, support them on their venture journey?
Yeah, absolutely. So again, to give more background on how we operate, we sector agnostic. So we don't focus on every specific sector. And so far, we invested only in one company, which is it's called Bukapeo. It's a 100% Indonesian company, Bali based, Bali born. And basically this is like a Bukapeo, it's meaning in Indonesian open purchase. And basically it's a pre-order platform that support the micro entrepreneurs. And basically what happens is that the platform enables these micro entrepreneurs now purely focus on food that wouldn't be able to make any sales because A, maybe they don't have a shop, or B, the shop is too small that they cannot sell through like Gojek, Grab, and so on. So basically what the platform does is enabling all of these micro entrepreneurs to load their products into the platform, and also because it's a pre-order, so basically you purchase one day before minimum, and then the entrepreneurs get the funding before. And also on top of that, we partner with Mandiri, and Mandiri, we issuing microloans to these micro entrepreneurs because for them, like access to capital is really, it's pretty much impossible. So this is what the platform does, and also it provides also basically like the ingredients right now because it's only focused on food. So basically, it provides like the ingredients to these micro entrepreneurs that they wouldn't be able to purchase before. And it's been crazy growth. We actually, so we invested in them $200,000. So that was like 3 months ago. And actually we, well, I think I will not announce it now for the first time, but we're gonna open another round funding and going to seed stage because the company actually overperforms by a lot. And basically right now, like, you know, we experienced like a 10x on the previous revenues. And basically with this new round of funding, what we're gonna do is we're gonna improve the tech, but also we're gonna go into the Java market. And this is the beauty of Indonesia, is that, you know, from a startup point of view, if you type into, you know, the large market, you know, it's the scale is impressive. So there are like, in this case, there are 60 million micro entrepreneurs across Indonesia, and it's really cool. And you know, we're very happy because, you know, we're doing business for profit, but we also creating like really great impact with the, for instance, for this project. So this is something that we really excited, and yeah. So this is the one that we've been focused right now. I can't disclose because we're gonna have actually a private event next week, Wednesday. Where we're gonna reveal our new pipeline. But basically, The sectors is like agri-tech, like 2 in agri-tech, also FMCG, sustainable, and also we also been doing since already it's been like 1 year, following closely an aviation project. That basically our plan is to pretty much create the first seaplane airline in Indonesia, starting operating on West Sumatra, and yeah, also from that, great progress. We didn't open yet the ticket for this project, but the progress so far, we have some angels, first angels backing, doing like a real pre-seed, and then with that, we've been able to do all the compliance for the seaplanes, and with the coming new year, we're gonna open a round to make this happening.
All right, amazing. So how do you find these projects? Do they apply to you, or do you actively go out and look for them?
Yeah, so that actually was the main challenge. The first, one of the main challenge here, like, so finding good pipeline, because right, like we are pretty focused, like very specific, and so at the beginning, you know, like we just like pushing marketing, and we're just waiting, you know, like applications, and we receive like applications through our website or just direct emails, so, like every day. But the problem is that, you know, like the vetting process is pretty specific. So I would say like 99% of the application is a reject. And then the 1% that is initial yes. Then when we go through the due diligence, I would say like 60% of that, they also rejects. So this, the challenge that we were facing at the very beginning is like, you know, getting good pipeline. And so therefore, what we did in the past months, we partnered with pretty much all the impact accelerators in Indonesia, across Indonesia. And this is how we getting all of these new pipeline. And yeah, because in this way we are able, you know, all these companies already been accelerated, and therefore, you know, it's much more likely that they meet the criteria when decide to push forward a deal from our side.
Right, that's very interesting. So you mentioned impact accelerators. So I'm familiar with incubators, accelerators, but what you just mentioned, the impact accelerators. So these are accelerators that only support projects or ideas that actually contribute to environmental or social impact. Is that correct?
Yes, exactly. They only focus on impact. Yes.
Wow, amazing. And are they based in Bali?
No, they're not based in Bali. They're mainly based in Jakarta. So yes, that's the thing. But what's been amazing is, like, you know, it's been said like a real journey, and like now that we build a really good ecosystem on how to get these, to know these companies, we can see out there that, you know, there are plenty of these companies. Like, so what we do is also like, you know, like a lot of companies, they really good, but they're not yet there for funding. So what we do, and this is an example, so what we did for the company that we invested in is that we just build a relation with them, and then we mentor them, and we get them ready for investment readiness. And then is there when we push them forward. So actually, in the, like, so far right now, we have around the other 4 companies that we've been mentoring them. And then when they reach those goals that we set, then this is when we're gonna push them forward. Cool. Because of course, you know, like, and this is what we do at Bali Investment Club. Also, when we go and we invest in the companies, then we will actively support them. So most of the time, so we would get some equity in exchange for the investment, and we would most probably get 1 seat in the board of directors. And this is like a win-win, you know, for everyone, because it's our main interest to, you know, really help this company to grow. Yeah.
Amazing, that's great. So if there wasn't Bali Investment Club, then what access to capital do these new ventures have? You know, yeah, what capital can they access? Is it easy to apply for a business loan in Indonesia? What does the landscape look like on that front?
Yes, it's not, no, it's not really easy. And, you know, like the interest rate, they're pretty high. We're talking about around like 28% on year. And yeah, like, you know, like, because we focus on basically like pre-seed or pre-series A, all right? So also all of these companies is like the first time that they're approaching also to, you know, like in investment institutions. So therefore they're like pretty new to the space, and this is actually where the company reached to us, and this is where we, you know, type into the market, and we feel like a little gap in the market, because of course out there there are like big players, big venture capital players, and of course, you know, like we're not able yet to compete with them, but rather, you know, like, so we're pushing ourselves on like, you know, the earlier stage when, you know, just before they're doing like Series A and larger rounds. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And in terms of funding, what do you offer? So in terms of what I'm familiar with, you know, equity stake, loan, or even now, you know, token sales. So which of those options do you consider or offer?
Okay, so of course, like, you know, what we're interested in today is equity. Like we wouldn't do like straight loans because we don't see like the big value on it. And most of the time, basically, like we got quite creative on these deal creations. Uh, Basically, what we offer is so depends from the stage also and how much we feel confident about the company. So if it's like a really early stage, but the company is really promising, so basically what we do is we split the total amount of funding in two. So we give, let's say they're raising, they need $300,000, but most of those companies, they don't need $300,000 right now. They need it like in a year time. So what we do is like, okay, we give you the half, $150,000 for the first 6 months on basically it's a convertible loan. But what we do is that we don't do like a straight loan, but we use a royalty finance. We apply the royalty finance. So basically, the loan repayment is based on the projections, so not even actual. So the, you know, like and that's really help us you know, to find out if the entrepreneurs is really comfortable in achieving their projections, and also help entrepreneurs you know, to not being able to pay, you know, like you know, like a fixed repayment every month. So of course, because it increases throughout the months, we accordingly with the revenues. So basically what we do is that, okay, you're very comfortable about your projections, cool. So we will calculate the loan repayment based on a percentage on the revenue on your projections, right? And so if you don't achieve the projections, you still gonna have to buy 20%. Of course, we're happy with some margins. You're still gonna have to pay that. And what we found out is that a lot of entrepreneurs come back revising the financials. And this is really good because then, you know, like we really put them on a corner and they really need to stick to those financials. So this is what we do. And then basically, like if they achieve projections, then we do the second round of funding and we convert into equity. And also basically what we do also with if we do straight equity and it's early stage, we wouldn't do straight equity. We call it like a safe. So basically, but based also on performance. So basically, you know, like evaluation, since like, you know, the most challenging thing is understanding evaluation on the early stage, right? And the evaluation is based on future cash flows, you know, future projections, future money, right? And therefore what we do is that, okay, applying the same rule of the royalty finance is that, okay, you value the company on like 2 million, okay, that's okay. But if you achieve the projections, because those two, like this valuation is based on your, you know, future cash flows. So basically what we do is that in 12 months, if you achieved your projections by 20%, we convert at the 2 million valuations. If you underperform or you overperform, the valuation change accordingly based on your underperformance or overperformance percentages. So basically, if they underperform by 30%, the valuation goes down by 30%. If they overperform by 30%, the valuation goes up by 30%. And we feel that, really coming with this new structure of closing deals is the best way. That's the best way moving forward, because our role is we need to make happy both entrepreneurs and both investors, and we feel that in this way it's the best way to meet those goals.
Yeah, very cool. So that seems really fair and realistic. You're adjusting it based on what's really happening with the company, and not sticking with an estimation and not adjusting as you go along. So that sounds really good, really fair. There's a question from the audience. Dea, would you like to unmute and ask your question about rejections? Dea. So Dea asked a question. What's the reason that most of the applications get rejected?
Yeah, so the main reason, we're trying to, it's really clear, like on our website, when there is, the application get funded section, we really put our criteria and how we decide, when we betting a company. And a lot of times, companies, they apply, but they're not, the companies that don't have any sort of impact. So this is even if it's amazing business, from a purely business model point of view, we're gonna have to reject it because there is no impact, right? And then, so this is like the most typical straightforward rejection. And then other rejection is, they too early stage for that, but that wouldn't be we never, unless, they definitely don't match our criteria, meaning that is not impact, is never like a full rejection. It's like, cool, we give you some feedback, we'll wait feedback, spend time to the companies, we give you some feedback. When when you meet this feedback, come back to us, and then we can open the conversation again. So again, to respond is, if they don't really match our criteria of impact, that's the main criteria. Yeah.
Cool. So it's not always a definite no. Sometimes it's a not yet. You're not ready. Work on your plan, work on your concept before you come back.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, and my next question, so Bali Investment Club. I'm very interested about the word club, because it's you don't have a corporate name. It sounds like it's very accessible. So yeah, tell us more about calling it a club, and how that differentiates you from other funds.
Yeah, so basically a club, it's because we accessible from the investor's point of view, but also, as I just mentioned, also from the investees' point of view, we always feedback back, but from the investors' point of view, and let's say the members, how you become a member is that you invest and then you become a member, an official member. So the thing is that accessibility, so to be able to invest into funds, you need to meet some specific requirement, and also the minimum investment is pretty large. Most of the times it's always over 100, and for us the minimum investment is $20,000. So, and then also, and this is through COVID, we weren't really able to fully execute our vision of being a club, but since the 2 months we've been able to. And what we do is we doing hosting months, and this way at the moment we very happy we're doing at Samesa in Canggu, which is one full table for 25 people, and this is really a way to get to know each other and really discuss about the deals, or about new projects, and so on. Yeah. and most of the times there is also the opposite, like, you know, this name, like club, people think that it's a very angel, you know, network, like, so basically like done in a very like part-time way, but actually, you know, we run as a proper venture capital, yeah, organization. Yeah.
Oh, I have a question. Do you have a view on what role Bali Investment Club might play in the new landscape of tokenized fundraising?
Yes, we've been exploring that lately, and you know, like we've been chat also with the, you know, like lawyers about that, and so far like it's been really you know, early stage to say anything. So what I can say is we're working on that, and this is definitely our way, like let's say our Bali Investment Club 2.0, and this is definitely where we see ourselves going. However, we need to first, like we felt that, you know, we need to first establish ourselves on a traditional way on fundraising right now, and then do that shift only when you know, we will, you know, we will have more established track record. So but it's definitely something that we've been exploring, and we are currently exploring. Yeah. We can't hear you, I think.
I'm back.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, there's a question from the audience. Okay, Bruno. Bruno has asked a question. What returns are averagely done? I think he's asking you what are average returns. I know
Yes.
this is a tricky question.
Well, yes. Well, like what I can say is that our hurdle rate, so like what we guarantee is like 10% on year. So basically, in a way that if we reach like below the hurdle rate of 10%, we don't get any extra fees from your returns. So basically, when we're vetting a company, we're always looking at a minimum of 20% year on year on a 5 years basis. So that's actually the minimum. You know, when we feel comfortable, since the early stage, when we feel comfortable that the company can give us 20% year on year, this is when we actually go ahead with the deal. So we always work on a 20% year on year. But, you know, like if you asking us a past, like as how the question was phrased, you know, like our first experience right now on our first investment company is actually, you know, is going to be much more than 20%. So, you know, like we always run in a pessimistic approach, and we always try the best, you know, to be realistic and pessimistic. And then in case, you know, it's going to be just a surprise, a good surprise. So like we really stress entrepreneurs to revise their projections. And you know, you would never expect from us saying in our pitches, you know, like 100% IRR. So yeah, so it's in within like the 20% year on year. This is what we're looking at on a really realistic base.
Okay, I have a question, but I need Bruno to unmute and ask the question yourself, Bruno, so that I make sure I understand. Or so if you deliver the question yourself, Bruno, can you unmute? And this will have to be the last question before we move on to the next speaker.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Good morning. I haven't shown my face yet. 1 second. I'm going to try to do that too.
Morning.
Hi, Nicolo. Thank you very much for, first of all, for these presentations, and it sounds very interesting. I just wanted to have a little bit more information as a possible investor into the club. Where can I find some of the documentation and information related to the club? And the second sub question I would have is, what say do I have, or do overall investor have when the club is making a decision into putting money into a particular project?
Sorry, can you reframe the second question?
What sort of, as an investor, I'm sure you have a pool of people, what sort of decision process do they have in terms of an agreement when you and your management decide to pour money into a project? Do they have some contribution?
Yes. So, okay. So for the first questions, you can just go on the website, and there is like becoming a member, and again, you just apply, and then we're gonna email you back straight away. Or there is also a WhatsApp button on that. And if understood well, so basically, you know, like all the companies, of course, they've been vetted from the investment committee. And then like you as an investor, you have the freedom, so that we don't operate like a fund. So you have the freedom to choose which one of our projects you would like to invest. And then we would do basically a membership agreement between you and us. Is this what you were asking for?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'll spend some time on the on your website, and if I need to reach you, I guess I can get. Can you hear me?
Yes. Now, yes.
Hello.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So I guess if I need to reach you, I can do that through the website, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. All good. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
Nicolo, grazie. Thank you very much. It was very informative, and I think the audience really took a lot out of that. And also, yeah, thank you for what you do for, you know, the impacts venture space. I think we need more, yeah, more organizations like yours really supporting and, you know, bringing the good work into the world. So well done. Thank you.
Thank you so much.